we are continuing on our Intro to Algebra and Equations unit, and this topic is on one-step multiplication equations. So make sure you have your notes or your page labeled for the notes to come. So if we think about if addition reverses subtraction and subtraction reverses addition, what will reverse multiplication? If you're thinking division, then yes. So multiplication and division are inverses. So if we have an equation where a variable is being multiplied by a number like this, then we will divide both sides to get that number alone. And the number in front of the variable is called the coefficient. So if we look here, 3g, 3 would be the coefficient, negative 2g, negative 2 would be the coefficient, 7g, the coefficient would be 7. Just g, the coefficient would be 1, and negative g, the coefficient would be negative 1. The steps for solving a one-step multiplication equation are pretty much the exact same. So if you still have it written in your notebook or in your notes, you could go back and find it and maybe give it another circle or another star just so that you know you have it. If you don't have it written down, then I would say for sure to pause and write these steps down. But write the equation, draw your train tracks, use the inverse operation, solve, and check. All right, let's do some problems together. Just like in the last video, I think it's the most beneficial for you to write all of the equations down and solve them. So 4x equals 32. So remember, our first step is to do our train tracks. 4x means that x is being multiplied by 4. So we're going to do the inverse, which is division, and we're going to divide both sides by 4. This time, we want to get our coefficient. Remember, it's the number before the variable. We want it to be 1 because 1x is the same as x, and that means we got x alone. If we got it to 0, 0x is 0, is 0x equals 0, so that means we got rid of x, and we don't want to get rid of x. So before with addition and subtraction, we wanted to get 0, but multiplying, we need to get it to 1. So we're going to divide both sides by 4. I'm going to draw a line so I know that that step is done. And then again, I could cross off this 4 over 4, but 4 divided by 4, as we know, is 1. And then we're going to bring that x down. So 1x, and then 32 divided by 4 is 8. I'm going to drop that 1, so x equals 8. And then, just like before, we're going to put our 8 back into the equation. So 4 times 8. So 4 times 8, not 48, 4 times 8. Check to make sure that it equals 32. And it does, so then our answer is x equals 8. Let's do another one. Negative 5x equals 55. Our variable is on the left side, so we look at the left side. X is being multiplied by negative 5. So I'm going to divide everything by negative 5. Yes, that negative has to stick with the 5. So negative 5 divided by negative 5 is 1. So then I just bring down my x. 55 divided by negative 5. Remember, different signs is negative. So it'd be negative 11. And then let's check it. Negative 5 times negative 11 is the same as 55. So then x is negative 11. And then we go over here. 3x equals negative 27. Again, my variable is over here, and x is being multiplied by 3. The opposite is dividing, so we divide both sides by 3. Again, because if I look at my 3 divided by 3, that's the same as 1. We know 1x is the same as x. So x equals, and then negative 27 divided by 3 would be negative 9. So we would do 3 times negative 9 to check that that does equal negative 27. See how all of our integer knowledge is coming back for us to practice and to use. So that does check, so then x does equal negative 9. So I would like you to pause the video and do these 4 equations and then come back and check your work. Okay, so then we have negative 6m equals negative 12. I divided both sides by negative 6. So I would get m equals 2, and I checked it, and that does work. For negative 48 equals 8h, I divided both sides by 8. Negative 48 divided by 8 is negative 6. And then I just flipped it around, so then h equals negative 6. For this one, we're doing 6 divided by negative 18. So not negative 18 divided by 6, which would have given us 3, but it's 6 divided by negative 18, which gives us negative 1/3, because negative 18 times negative 1/3 would be 6. So f is negative 1/3. And then 17x equals 51, divide both sides by 17, and we would get x equals 3. Couple word problems. Mrs. Acosta's car can travel an average of 24 miles on each gallon of gas. Write and solve an equation to find how many gallons of gas she will need for a trip of 348 miles. So for every gallon of gas, she can go 24 miles. So 24 miles per gallon. And she's going 348 total miles. So we're going to solve for G. So we're going to do our train tracks. G is being multiplied by 24, so I'm going to divide both sides by 24. So then that cancels out to 1, which just leaves me with G. And then 348 divided by 24 would be 14.5. I'm going to check that and do 24 times 14.5, and I get 348. So I'm going to go back up before I circle it. Then G is 14.5 gallons, so I want to make sure that I add my label, and then that would be my answer. And then one more, the tortoise is one of the slowest land animals, reaching an average top speed of about 2,500 miles per hour. At this speed, how long will it take the tortoise to travel 1.5 miles? So we are asked to find the time t it will take to travel a distance d of 1.5 miles at a rate r of 2,500 miles per hour. So what does that mean? We're going to take 2,500 and we're going to times that by how long, because it's asking us how long. So it's going to be our time to go 1.5 miles. So then just like before, because t is being multiplied, even though it's a number less than 1, it's still being multiplied. So we're going to do our train tracks. We're going to divide both sides by 2,500. It's going to be more than 1.5 because it's a number less than 1. So t equals 6. And remember, we want to make sure we have the right label because it's asking us how long, and it's going by miles per hour. So it's going to be t equals 6 hours. And then we would go 2,500 times 6. And we would check to make sure that it equals 1.5, which it does. So then t equals 6. Keep these notes handy. Bring them to class. Have a great day.